You're listening to WTIM, your information station. It's time now for your expanded local news. The Taylorville City Council is set to meet on Monday evening at 7 p.m. for their regular City Council meeting. After the approval of minutes, the council will look at recognizing Mila Gregory, reviewing ordinance concerning a handicap parking space at the USPS, residency requirements, industrial park updates, and a special events permit for the VFW on Saturday, October 4th. The council will also look at potentially approving an ordinance to sell some police vehicles. Under committee reports, the council will look at, discuss, and potentially approve the following motions: purchasing a Ford Explorer for emergency services, preparing an ordinance to sell expired tasers and protective equipment, approving a quote for construction of the parking lot west of the columbarium for the cemetery, and approving some airport work. Underwater, the council will look at 2 separate pay requests. There will be city attorney updates, mayoral comments, bills will be paid, and the council will hear from the public. Stay tuned to regional radio news for all the latest on the city council meeting following the conclusion of tonight's event. Newcomus is taking the next step in their work to attract visitors and investment to the town of Nokomis. The proposed setup is called Farmers Station. It brings in local vendors to open markets and other shops for people to visit for fresh foods and other goods. This helps satisfy one need identified from the local community. Newcomis is also spearheading a new daycare in town, along with other efforts to beautify the area and bring the community together for fun events. Trevor Loafman is a member of Newcomis. He says 3 vendors have signed on to join Farmers Station, enough to fill the new location.
So we've had a local person take over the old Farmer's Oil, and they're going to turn it into somewhat of a market. Gatton's Farms has been one of our farmers market vendors, bringing fresh meat, chicken, pork, and beef to our farmers markets. They've partnered for what's called Farmers Station in the old Farmer's Oil place. And then Eulery's Market has reached out to us with their produce. They sell at a different date than our farmers market, so it's kind of a more variety for people who are in town during the day. They've been during the day. Well, they're going to set up at full-time year-round at Farmers Station also to sell their produce. And then we have one more coming to town. Kismet Coffee is going to move into the same building and offer coffee and sandwiches and smaller eating fares there.
Another community need which Newcomis is set to deliver on involves childcare. That's because a daycare is in the works now. It's in partnership with the local First Baptist Church.
They had plans at one time to put something in, and it didn't go. We have hired a director. Work is ongoing to bring the area, the education area of the First Baptist Church up to where it needs to be for to have the daycare for the community in there. So we have started taking some donations. Danielle Herbstreet is the coordinator and director. So all donations, you can reach out to her. And there's a list of things out there, cribs and toys and stuff like that. We don't have an opening date yet, but we are working feverishly to get this thing ready to go and up and going. There's a kitchen going in, and all the safety features that DCFS and IDPH are requiring. We're following their rules and making this thing happen. A lot of work's been going on for that.
With the many new businesses coming to town, Newcomis wants to be sure that they arrive at a beautiful area. They are bringing in new planters to help spruce up the greenery around downtown and more.
Our beautification team has taken some donations and people sponsoring some of the planters. We brought tons of planters up into town, and Tom Lola Spears, who are getting ready to retire from Nokomis Gift and Garden, have kind of headed up and gotten the right look for the greenery and the flowers that are going through town, and they are just amazing all up and down Route 16. These planters, they're getting ready to switch them out to more fall themed look in the planters. And man, you drive through town and it's just really neat to see these things. They're beautiful.
Well, in terms of beautification, is there anything else like dilapidated buildings or anything like that you guys have your eye on?
There's a few empty buildings we've got our eye on to try to figure out what to do with them and try to attract more businesses to town. We'll have more on that maybe the next time we talk. But there's things in the works.
Newcomus is also helping organize and promote several fun events in the coming months. Canines and Cars is the first such event. It's scheduled for September 20th and combines a car show with a good cause.
Canines and Cars, there's a couple in town that's been putting it on, and the Downtown Nokomis Association had been helping with it. Now that we're Newcomis and we're combined, Jessica and Derek Durbin have put this thing on for a dog or pet adoption and a car show, and we've kind of partnered with them. We're handling the vendors for that event. That'll be on September 20th. 9 to 11 is car registration. 11 to 4 is the event. We're going to have some farmers market vendors and some other vendors with different wares at that one. It's usually 60 plus cars at this event. It's a great time. A lot of people in town. I believe we're going to have music entertainment during that show, that event also.
More information on Newcomis can be found by contacting Newcomis at newcomisevents@gmail.com or by visiting them at their Facebook page. Trevor Loafman appeared as a guest on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. The Taylorville Food Pantry will be receiving much-needed donations of non-perishable food and money through the Taylorville Kiwanis Club's 5th Drive-Through Donation Day of 2025. It took place in front of our Taylorville studios on Saturday. Kiwanis members Randy Miller and Bruce Dawson supervised the table and accepted donations. The One Big Beautiful Act, which President Donald Trump signed in July, has led to, among other effects, significant cuts in food assistance funding. As Randy Miller describes, it's led to a sharp increase in the need in Taylorville.
And let me tell you a real quick story. Pam Moses is co-director of the Taylorville Food Pantry. She was our program speaker for Tuesday's Taylorville Kiwanis Club meeting. And she shared with us some numbers that were just astounding about the growing need for folks in the area to use the food pantry. And I'm talking children and youth and adults. There's been a lot of SNAP benefits cut. There's been a lot of other benefits that have been offered folks in the past that have been cut. And as a result, the need for food, non-perishable food, and monetary donations and whatever the food pantry can garner is even greater and greater. And she gave us a number, and I'm trying to remember if it was a year or a month. It was like 500 and some families. I mean, that's astounding for Taylorville and Christian County, and it just keeps growing. And she says, in talking to other food pantries, they're all on the same boat.
Bruce Dawson noted that the cash donations made up much of what they received on the day. That amount can translate into lots of food for those in need.
And I know they would appreciate any donations that you would be willing. Of course, they're tax deductible if you're using that. But the Taylorville Food Pantry is really in need of supplies and food. The government has cut back on their supplies, especially meat. They've not been able to get any meat now for quite some time. So cash donations would go a long way to giving a balanced diet to our children.
This was the penultimate drive-through donation day for 2025. 2 took place in May, and the other 2 were organized in July. The last donation day of the year will be held on September 27th. The Taylorville Food Pantry, the Taylorville Kiwanis Club, and the Hart Media Group thank all those who contributed to the drive-through donation day. Randy Miller and Bruce Dawson appeared as guests on the Retro Request Show on Genuine Country 94.3 WMKR, while Dawson also appeared on the Saturday Request Show on Groovy 97.3 WRAN. The Taylorville Kiwanis Club is part of a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world one child and one community at a time. Weekly meetings are held Tuesdays at noon at the Taylorville Moose Lodge. For more information on the club, go to TaylorvilleKiwanis.com. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. When you become a member of TCCU, you become an owner and have access to our great loan rates, earn great dividends on our deposit accounts, have access to our full range of financial products, and will receive personal attention from people you know. Membership is open to anyone who lives or works in Christian, Montgomery, and Shelby County. We are conveniently located in Taylorville, Hillsborough, Litchfield, and Pana. You can also visit us online at www.tccu.org. Come join us. You'll wonder why you waited. Member NCUA.
The Christian County Emergency Management Agency has issued a temporary suspension on all open burning due to ongoing dry weather and a heightened risk of fires. Effective immediately, residents across the county are prohibited from burning natural debris, yard waste, leaves, brush, or other combustible materials. The suspension applies to both residential and agricultural burning activities. Officials say the ban will remain in place until weather conditions improve and the fire danger subsides. Emergency Management Director Jeff Stoner says that the unusually dry weather and low humidity levels over the past several weeks have created dangerous conditions for fire spread. Even small controlled burns can quickly get out of hand, threatening lives, property, and natural resources. Stoner notes that the recent reports have highlighted just how dry farm fields are, meaning it doesn't take much for sparks to escalate into dangerous wildfires or field fires. He says the suspension is a proactive step to reduce the risk of accidental fires during this period of extreme dryness. While the suspension is in place, residents are encouraged to use alternative disposal methods for their yard waste, such as mulching or composting, using local waste collection services, or safely storing debris until conditions improve. The Christian County Emergency Management Agency will continue monitoring weather patterns and fire danger levels in coordination with local fire departments and the National Weather Service. Updates will be issued as conditions change. For questions or more information, residents can contact the Christian County EMA at 217 561 1197. The Macon County Conservation District is now taking applications for this year's upland game hunting season at Friends Creek Conservation Area. The one-day hunts are part of the Upland Game Management Program, and hunters must submit their applications by October 1st of 2025 to be considered in their drawing. Hunting will be held on specific dates throughout November and December. Those dates include November 1st, 2nd, 5th, 8th, 12th, 15th, 19th, 26th, and 29th, as well as on December 3rd, 11th, 14th, 18th, 21st, 24th, and 27th. Applicants must mail a request to the Conservation District Office in Decatur. The request should include a self-addressed stamped envelope, the applicant's name, and a phone number, a copy of a valid 2025 Illinois hunting license and habitat stamp, and 3 preferred dates ranked by choice. Hunters under 16 years of age must also provide a hunter safety certificate number. A drawing will be held to assign available hunting dates, and those selected will be notified by mail. Each successful applicant will be assigned 1 hunting date and may bring up to 3 partners with them. More details and instructions are available at maconccd.org or by contacting the Conservation District Office at 217 423 7708. The fall agritourism season is ramping up. Here's an update on the apple crop from Jenna Spikel at Johnamack Orchard in Malta, which is in northern Illinois. Spikel also serves as a chair of the Illinois Specialty Growers Association. The county fair season finished up this last week in Illinois. The Gallatin County Fair and Popcorn Day took place in Ridgeway. Talking about this, Fair Board member Mariah Knight. Also, this last weekend was the Oakaville Fair and Wheat Festival in Washington County. This will conclude the second portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by CNB Bank and Trust.
Farming never takes a day off, and neither should your banking. At CNB Bank and Trust, our regular business checking account lets ag businesses run smoothly, and you'll have anytime, anywhere access with digital banking, bill pay, a debit card, e-statements, even QuickBook upload, so you can focus on harvest, not paperwork, helping farmers do what they do best, grow. Stop by your local branch or visit cnbil.com today. CNB Bank and Trust, helping to open doors since 1854. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home.
When it comes to organizing your life, Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville has some words of advice. Consider pre-planning your funeral. The death of a loved one can be a traumatic event in people's lives, and you can spare your family the burden of planning a funeral when they are grieving. Sutton Memorial Home knows that establishing a pre-arrangement assures that important decisions and your personal selection are made in advance and spares your family an additional burden at their time of loss. Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Caring is what they do best.
91-year-old Geraldine Lucille, or Jerry Gordon, of Taylorville, died on September 11th. Visitation is September 20th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Taylorville. Memorial Mass will be on September 20th at 11 a.m. at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Taylorville. Interment will be at Old Stonington Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. Paula J. Koonsman of Shelbyville, formerly of Warrensburg, will have a celebration of life being planned for her for October 12th of 2025. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Howe and Yankee Funeral Home in Shelbyville. And 58-year-old Randall, or Randy Lee Pertilar of Peoria, formerly of Taylorville, died on August 21st. Memorial visitation is September 20th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. Memorial service will be September 20th at 11 a.m. at McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. Interment will be at Glen Haven Memorial Gardens. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. Get details on these and other local news stories at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com or hear them every hour on WTIM. WTIM is your only local news radio.